Hi everybody, as promised, we do have a little bit of homework this week and it's all to do with helping you develop your understanding of nutrition enough so that you can make some decisions around what you think may or may not work for you and the route that you want to take if you want to get a tighter grip of it. So this is totally optional. If you're quite happy with the healthy habits you've built in, weeks 1 and 2 already, that's brilliant. So have a listen and make your mind up. It's completely flexible and totally your call, ladies. So nutrition is such an emerging science and I love this topic. Even during my career in health and fitness, things have changed so much. They're changing all the time. There are things I've done years ago that I wouldn't now. When you think about it, vitamins were only discovered like 100 years ago. So you can see how new nutritional science is, and I love talking to all of you about it. So first up, I just want to touch on healthy fats. If you're an ex-Diet Club member, this might send shivers down your spine a little bit because the diet industry loves to sell us different ways of doing things, and just think about all the things that have come and gone over the years. It used to be low fat, but the world got fatter, and for women there are so many negative ramifications of this. Maybe you've been somebody who has done, lots of very low calorie diets, and this is really dangerous. It can damage your metabolic rate for the long term. It has terrible long-term effects. A typical pattern that I see quite often with clients is that they jump from over-exercising and under-eating to unhealthy regular habits. And this flip-flop of extremes back to unhealthy habits is terrible for us. Our body and our mind actually literally hates these extremes and doesn't cope well. Your body likes to know what's coming. It loves rhythm and routine. So the longer we do this kind of extreme kind of habit and behavior of, low calorie, over exercise, and then back to old habits, actually what you're doing is creating a more and more increased, higher natural weight set point. Your body's going to cause you to think you need food. It's going to make you hungry if you are doing low calorie diets. So it makes you want more food, and that's going to drive your natural weight set point further up. And this is why you will see quite often people over the course of time getting heavier and heavier and heavier. So we need to really get consistent and let our body settle into a lovely pattern of healthy eating and exercising. So when you want to lose body fat, we know that basically you need to burn more energy than you consume. We know that. But then when you look at the next layer, you can look at the ratios of the different types of foods that you consume and what makes up the overall quantity of food that you're consuming. And by that, we mean our proteins, our carbohydrates, and our fats. So we've got the food that we consume, and then how we break that up. What ratios of the food types do we break that up into? We have to also bear in mind that as we age, we require fewer calories, unfortunately. Muscle mass deteriorates with age, and this is why strength training helps us keep our muscle, build our muscle. The more muscle mass you can retain or build, the more calories you're going to burn. Muscle mass burns more calories. So even when you're not active, if your body has got more muscle mass, you're going to burn more calories. That's why it's so important. So when it comes to fats, we need in our diet nuts, seeds, avocados, coconut oil. We need these for brain health, but how much is enough? Getting these quantities right is important. These kinds of foods are calorific. So if you have too many of them, it can all add up. So we've got to figure out getting the balance right. Now that we are building our healthy habits, our healthy eating, and enjoying that, we're going to start to dig deeper now into nutrition and looking at the right quantities of the different food types I've just explained. Now, for some people, I know that the thought of tracking in MyFitnessPal makes the eyes roll, it sends shivers down the spine. It's not for everybody, but you know what? That is okay. People can and do lose body fat without using a tracker, without using an app to track their calories. It is a real put off for so many people. It just might not be for you. And I would say as well, if you have a history of disordered eating, then tracking isn't a good option either, if that's something that you've struggled with, and that's fine. There's a tracking option and there's a portion control option route too. With portion control, it's a case of piling on the fresh veg, a good palm-sized portion of protein, and then, the carbs and the fats need to be in the right proportions. And that's totally possible to managing nutrition without tracking too. So let's get started on nutrition in some more detail. So here's your homework. First of all, this is something that I'd love you to find some time to do in week 2 ahead of week 3. So log in to the website. That's where I want you to head and go to the Elevate Hub. Click on the nutrition box and you'll see that there are 4 boxes, and in them they have the title Nutrition Essentials. So have a little look at the boxes. 4 of them have got Nutrition Essentials in the title. I want you to click on each box and read through the download that you'll find within each. There's a couple of recipes in one of them as well that'll be interesting for you too. Take your time to have a good read through each of them, because it's going to help you massively in week 3 and in week 4, in fact. As I've said, it might be you are happy as you are. That's fine. If things are going well, that's fine. But if you want to get a tighter grip, then please do continue to read and follow this tighter grip option. So read through everything, and from week 3, if you want to tighten things up a bit, decide what route you want to follow. You'll see the download of route 1, portion control, or route 2, tracking calories and macros. What do you think is going to work best for you? Because one size doesn't fit all, as we've said. So you can, from today, you can start to take notice of what you're putting on your plate. You can do that immediately. How are the portions looking? Certain diet clubs encourage you to eat unlimited quantities of food. Do you pile on the carbs? Do you pile on the fats? If you do, then maybe this is something to start looking at. I do see photographs of your plates landing, and I can always tell where there are portion control issues. Think about it. Things like 2 salmon fillets on your plate. 1 salmon fillet is a portion. It's going to drive your calories up if you're doubling up on portions. Do you have a full bag of microwave rice? Half a bag is a portion. So let's look at the quantities and, make sure that we are aware of where calories may be going. Portion control, or I should say lack of it, can really mess with your mindset, and your results. You think you're doing great, yet actually you are overeating. Sometimes something as simple as reining those portions in can really help you. Do you look at quantities? Look at your portions and start learning about your ratios. So I'll wrap up with, there's no pressure. You do whatever you decide to do. Just know that you've got these options. If you're not quite getting the results that you'd expect, it could be to do with ratios and portions. So you could try something for a week or two and see how it goes. As we head into week 3, and you've made your choices around how you might track or control portions, there will be some more options for you to think about. There will be a sprinter, and that is going to be an option that will come in week 4 that I'm going to talk to you about next week. So watch this space, and as ever, as you're reading through all this information, ask any questions at any time. Enjoy, good luck with your homework, and I'll see you soon.